Good morning everyone, it's Libby from Meister Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people. An absolute delight to have you, your guides and my guides here with us today. My cat balls have arrived. It is switched on and will flash if it gets touched. So I've given Meister and Narin free rein to go at the ball. It may take them a few days to get used to it, so I haven't lit the candle today. We'll see how that goes. What I wanted to have a look at today, I'm going to have a look at Rishi Sunak and how it's going to go for the UK. I read on the main contenders, Truss and Sunak, 2 months ago when Boris resigned, and very clearly had Sunak coming out as Prime Minister of the energies of that time. It then did change to Liz Truss, but the readings I did on Liz Truss were never very convincing, so I'm pleased to say that the quite convincing Sunak Prime Minister cards that I pulled 2 months ago have come to fruition. Do like Australia's also under the Westminster government system, where if our politicians turn out to be absolute losers or corrupt narcissists or anything like that, we can just toss them out and bring in a new one, our leaders. So I do like the system that we're under. Okay, also I'm not going to have a look at Brazil, but I did do a reading a couple of weeks on Brazil, but what's come out in the news overnight is that Bolsonaro ally Roberto Jefferson, very close ally of Bolsonaro, was involved in a siege with police. Police wanted to question him. I don't know what the reason was. It may have been comments he made, because Jefferson's claim was that he was lobbing grenades and firing bullets at police as a protest of freedom of speech. Not sure where that comes off. Anyhow, very sad to see that the Brazilian election has turned violent for those involved. Before I read, sending whatever energies I have spare in these muggy conditions down to southeastern Australia, one of our main cropping areas, which has just been absolutely decimated with flooding. Today, the Weather Bureau is expecting a high-centred low to collide with a low-centred low down over Victoria, Tasmania area, which will bring cyclonic, it forms what's called a hybrid cyclone, and they're expecting rain of 200 millimetres, so 20 centimetres plus in that area. So, yeah, really putting thoughts out for them, hopeful thoughts, protective thoughts. Okay, what I'm going to have a look at, Rishi Sunak, just to see how he goes. No, not those cards, thank you guys. Sorry, tipped a deck on the floor there, but I don't want that deck right now, I'll pick it up later. So what I'm using is my mystical manga cards, which are my political cards, just to have a look to see how it's going to go forward. Now, the UK economy, I've read on this in the past, the UK economy really, COVID messed up a lot of the world, but the UK economy faltering really comes from them drawing out of the EU. Saw it at the time that it was going to be an absolute economic disaster, and I haven't changed my opinion on that. That was the Brexit that was brought about due to deliberate disinformation by those with vested interests and playing on the fear of racism. So, okay, he's got a real mess to pick up, this Rishi Sunak. Let's see how he's going to go. I was very surprised when Liz Truss was coming to the fore because her policies were unpopular. However, she has brought in the first budget, which was very distasteful, but Sunak has avoided that, so he may may be okay. Tell me about Rishi Sunak going forward. The first non-white, non-Christian Prime Minister, which is a huge step forward. Tell me about Rishi Sunak. What's flipped over there? Oh. Don't know how he's going to go. That may be how he got in. Let's see what the cards say. Tell me about Rishi Sunak. So Rishi Sunak as Prime Minister of the UK. Right, thank you. Ooh. Well, that's not aside from the one that flipped over, that's not a particularly good card to start with. Okay. Emotionally walking away, but it also is walking towards a new beginning. So walking away from emotion. Okay, he's a ex-merchant banker, so he's a very logical thinker. So what I'm picking up here is that he is going to be walking away from the emotion of politics. Thank you. Thank you. Sometimes I need Meister to come in to clarify. Crossed by choices. Very much. There's a... Which way to turn? Choices. He has all these emotional choices presented before him, and it is very much about which way he's going to go. So it's not yet defined. He has a path he wants to follow, but he has a vast array of choices to choose from. Okay. Not an easy time for him. Base of this reading, I am going to read it in its traditional format, building a solid foundation. Financially, health, community, working together and building a solid foundation. So I think he's going to be okay, but it's going to be difficult for him. In the past, it was all about sabotage, betrayal. This is my Brexit card, about stealing the truth of others walking away, but this is in the past, so I'm quite pleased about that. I think he's going to be okay. I have to go back and have a look at my reading from 2 months ago to see what I actually said, but I think he's going to be okay looking at what's come up so far, because this is the past energy. He's got building the solid foundation, financially working together with others, and this backstabbing, betrayal, win at all costs is in the past. That was Boris. Boris is very much, he was always about the win. He wasn't about the serving the people. Okay, crowning this reading, crossroads. It is very much a crossroads point for the United Kingdom. Watched Danny Shea this morning, and he actually had this same card, that the UK is at this crossroads point. The eyes need to be opened. The decision needs to be made. At the moment, they're blind going into it. They are thigh deep in this murky swamp, but it is an opportunity. Not going to be easy. Not going to be easy. Thigh deep in this murky swamp of what has gone before. Needs to open the eyes and make the decision based on logic. New beginnings. Oh, Danny also got this card, if I remember correctly, so I'm quite pleased that we are drawing on the same energies. I do have slightly different meanings for these cards than what he had brought up, but they are very much in the same energies. But this is about a new beginning, new relationships, new start, cleaning out of the old. It is an emotional card, but it is very much about bringing forward new emotion, but new relationships. Externally from Sunak, the Magician. I'm actually really pleased with this. He is going to manifest possibilities. He has so many tools in his toolbox. And if he can pull people together, which this reading is indicating that he will, because I think what's happened is the UK government have had a oh highly crumbs, to be polite for YouTube, not the words as an Aussie that I would usually use. They've had a holy crumbs moment, and they realise they actually have to make this work. For the sake of the country, they have to make this work. So he has all these tools in his toolbox that he is going to be able to bring to the fore externally and manifesting possibilities internally. He's actually going to bring a compassionate energy to this position that may have been lacking. It was very much lacking by Boris. Boris was very much a narcissistic, arrogant, masculine energy. Liz Truss, I think, I have a term for it, I call them a bloke in a skirt. She was coming forward again with an arrogant energy that the feeling I got to be getting behind Liz Truss was that she was trying too hard to be masculine in masculine in her how she was presenting things. She was afraid of letting her feminine side forward. Okay, thank you, Master. But what I'm getting for Rishi Sunak is that he is going to bring this feminine energy of compassion forward in regards to domestic security, but also in financial stabilisation of the country. Okay. Whew. Hopes and fears. The fear is it's my way or the highway, patriarchal energy. The patriarch, my way or the highway type masculine energy, and that is a fear. The country does not need that at this time. Outcome. Right, there is something very unexpected that he's going to bring forward. This is about movement forward, a message being brought forward. It's going to be not what is expected, so that can be a good thing. Ace of Coins, a new financial beginning for the country, a new financial beginning, but also a new combining with the other ace and with the Queen of Coins, it is going to be an abundant beginning of abundance, the Star of Hope, and the Strength card, and the Death card. So 3 major arcana. Very much take notice. Star of Hope, respite and restoration. So hope is the most powerful emotion that we can have as humans, and this is telling me it's all going to be okay. He's going to bring this strength forward. It looks very much like a Rule Britannia card for the UK. And death. Now, don't be frightened of the death card. The death card very, very, very rarely means death. It's all about authentic reform. Endings and beginnings, but authentic reform. On the base, we have the King of Cups. Yes, thank you. It's my Biden administration card, but it's also the King of Cups is the card of diplomatic calmness being brought forward. The Lovers, which is about again, it's the contracts and agreements card, working together, partnerships. Queen of Cups, something hidden that's going to be brought to the fore, setting of boundaries and seeing things from a different point of view. There is going to be some pulling back that's going to be necessary, some wounded in defeat before this Wheel of Fortune can change, and the UK is going to be okay. So yeah, he's actually going to do okay. I'll just do a quick reading on the UK itself. Going forward, he's going to be okay. He's going to add stability. There's going to be quite dramatic, authentic reform that he's going to be bringing forward, and it's going to be okay. So just a quick couple of cards on the UK going forward, please. The UK going forward. The UK going forward. cards, UK going forward. UK going forward. Popped out, circles of support, celebration, abundance. I don't think that. I think he's going to be able to pull it all together. I think he's going to be a stabilising calm force that will be able to pull it all together and literally reset where the UK is coming from, who the UK is. The UK has to find out who they are without the EU. I can't remember how long they've been in the EU, 50 years, something like that. I mean, there's generations that don't know any different. So they're having to really rebuild their entire economic structure outside of the EU. I have seen the UK several times re-entering on a limited basis, and I think it's more to do with human movement rather than financial, as in able to travel between Europe and the UK, work back and forth, but not quite so financially tied together. Okay, what was trying to throw out at me was the Knight of Wands. A new plan going forward, a new plan, an inspired plan, not inspiring, but inspired plan, and moving forward with passion. So let's see where this goes. Okay, there is going to be some loss and disappointment. Not everybody's going to be happy. There is going to be, this is the UK moving forward, there are going to be some decisions that are made that are going to be very uncomfortable for some people. But they are decisions that need to be made. And we've got this Ace of Pentacles again, the Knight of Swords, and the Nine of Wands. So this is, again, it is very much about a new financial start for the country. There will be some harsh truths being brought to the fore, and new boundaries are going to be set up. Then we have the Ten of Wands as well. Often the burdensome card, but this card really reminds me of the Magician, of planting the seeds for the future. So there's going to be this having to make tough decisions that's going to make it very uncomfortable for people. Loss, disappointment, sadness. However, it's almost, how do I say, thank you, Meister. That's an awful way to put it, thank you, Meister. Some are going to have to be sacrificed for the benefit of the majority. Now, I don't know who that some is. I think it may be the wealthy. On the base, we have having to step backwards, having to move backwards, wounded in battle, having to burn parts of the past, having to completely burn parts of the past to be able to move forward. But then we have the Sun card, to be able to move forward. Okay, UK, I think you're going to be okay. There are going to be some decisions made that are going to be difficult for some, because change cannot happen by repeating what has been going on in the past. Thank you for joining me. Any questions, pop them below. Grit your teeth. I know you're really good at it. Grit your teeth, stiff upper lip. But look after your neighbours, look after your community, pull together, what do they call it, victory garden type community, and it'll be okay. And I think this Rishi Sunak is the guy to do it. Okay, thank you for joining me. Take care. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.